This way. Pretty soon you didn't have no skin left on your thumb. So back then, people used their head more than we do today. Now here's a simple device here that takes the corn off the cob real fast. It's guaranteed to take every kernel off the cob. It's spring loaded. It doesn't make any difference what size cob it is. Now there's nothing to it. It's just a simple little thing here. It's spiraled inside, and you turn it and it takes the kernels right off the cob. Oh, here's something nobody believes in. Where is it? Come on. Come on, where did it go to? Oh, I looked in the wrong place. This is a raisin seeder. Takes seeds out of grapes.
How does that work?
You just put them in there, and the seeds comes out. The seeds comes out the back, and the pulp comes out there. Now this machine is obsolete today because man took the seeds out of grapes. When I was a little boy and couldn't tolerate the seeds, this machine had to be used.
How old is that?
Probably turn of the century. Okay?
There wouldn't be many of those left around.
That's the only one I ever seen.
Wow. Do you have some other unique machinery like that?
This here is an A scale. You know, when you buy eggs at a store, extra large, large, medium, that's how they used to do it, one egg at a time. This is a bread maker. It won the gold medal at the St. Louis World's Fair in 1904.
I bet there aren't many of those around yet either.
No, but the new version, of course, they have electric motor, basically are the same. That up. Here's a sweeper here. I don't know if you can get a picture of it. It's a real old sweeper, and the company's still in business today. Regina. Can you see it? I doubt it.
Take a look at it here. Yeah. Yeah, I can see it well.
That company's still in business today. You can still buy sweepers from them.
How old is that?
Probably turn of the century.
How did you find all these?
Oh, most of them come from my side of the family, Norma's side of the family, my wife. And some of the items that I think is real good, I'll buy if I can afford them and show them. Here's a pair of button baby shoes. That's before the laces. There's two button hooks in there to put them on with.
We're getting a good picture of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to put something on it, that's all. Here's a ratchet here. I call it the world's fastest ratchet. I know a lot of people look at that and they look at me and think I'm a liar. But this is the only one I've ever seen. I have yet to find anybody that has seen one like this. Why I call it the fastest ratchet is, inside here there's a chain. You pull this little wire ball and it runs a shank on top front. You want to reverse it, all you do is push that through and that's reverse.
I never heard of such a thing.
Well, there's a lot of things we haven't learned about.
Probably a lot of things we've forgotten about, too.
Some things we want to forget.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to get now.
What is that, this device right here, sir? It looks as though it has handles on or something.
This here one?
Yeah.
That's what I call it, a portable drill press. Before they had nails, you've heard people talking about wooden pins in the barns.
Absolutely.
That's a machine that puts them in. You cannot do that with a hand electric drill.
Oh. I often wondered how they got them in there.
Well, that's it.
And that's
the
machine.
Yes, you got two handles on it. The Amish still uses that putting up their barns.
Now, how would somebody have who was putting a barn up? Would he have contracted with someone who had a company that would do that? That would go around and actually come into
Well, it was just like a carpenter is today. But he was equipped with the machinery they had back then.
Uh-huh.
Most of the carpenters would have that because they put up barns.
I see. So they come in probably with a team of horses just the way the Amish would.
Yeah. Oh. Here's a sat iron. OSHA would have a field day with this. It's gasoline fired.
I don't think you'd get approval today, would you?
OSHA would have a field day with this one.
Gasoline and a hot metal surface. How did they stop from having fires? Just
well, they used to have
ironing the laundry.
Blow torches. I mean, I'm not saying that they're safe.
Uh-huh.
But if a lot of these things, even today, used the way they're supposed to be used, they're still safe.
I see. How did you use that then? Explain how that would work.
Well, you put gas in it. You got a little pump there. You put pressure in it, and it would feed in, and then you'd have to light it with a match. In other words, you'd have fire. Right in these holes here, there'd be an open flame.
I bet that's unique, or very few of those around today.
Here's another sat iron. A lot of people want to know what that wire is. Well, see, that wire, when you was ironing, say, a man's shirt, and you was finished, but the iron was still hot, you had your choice of putting it someplace or taking it back to the stove. So that wire, what it was for, was that you could just lay it on the side and it wouldn't burn nothing. Just a position to hold it, even though it was hot. My mother used to have 3 sat irons like that, but you only use one handle. A lot of people say, why one handle? Well, if you put that handle, everything like this, what I'm holding my hand, on a stove, the handle would be hot. So they had a quick release.
Oh.
My mother used to have 3 of them. One she used and 2 on the stove. When the iron got hot, got cold, she'd take this iron and put it. She'd carry it over and put it on the stove, release it, pick up a hot one, and go back to work.
Wow. Back then they worked all the time, didn't they?
Yes. Here's a combination sat iron. If you iron something real heavy, you needed a heavy iron. But if you iron something light, you took the weight out of it, and it was a light iron. It's a combination iron, light and heavy. This is also a sad iron.
What would that be used for, with those grooves in there like that?
Men's shirts used to have ruffles on the wrist,
Uh-huh.
and that's the iron of ruffles.
Oh my goodness. So that could date back even farther than the turn of the century.
Oh
likely.
yes. It's hard to tell how old that is.
Would it have been, they were wearing ruffled shirts like that back in Washington's day? Would it be that old, or would it
Probably. Or something like it. See, you heated this part. Of course, you'd have to have a hook. You couldn't pick it up when it was hot. Then you put it back on there, dampen your shirt a little bit, the sleeve of your shirt, and press it this way. Now I'm going to change from tools, white man's tools, to Indian tools. Here's how they grind their cornmeal. They get a piece of sandstone, hollow it out, and use a pestle and grind it. Can you imagine getting somebody's supper ready by grinding it this way?
Oh my. Now, is that an authentic one?
Yes.
Is it really?
Oh yes.
Did you find that, or
Yes, I found that.
on your farm?
All the arrowheads and all these stone tools came off the farm here.
Wow.
Now this is what Pitt University calls a hide scraper. You notice how my thumb fits in there?
Mm-hmm.
Exposes that, and that's how they took the fat off the hide.
Isn't that something? And that also was in your fields out
Yes.
here.
Here's a small tomahawk. They split a sapling, tie it there, put tie a sapling on there, and they'd have a handle.
Uh-huh.
That's a small one. Now I got about 2 dozen tomahawks. I've yet to find one whole one. This should be down here to a point. It probably weighs about 8 pounds when it's full. Can you imagine getting hit over the head with it?
Wow.
I don't know which one to pick up. They're all about the same. Now, Indians picked up a stone, and they'd work on it. You notice how that fits in my hand?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hammerstone. They could beat like deer meat if it's tough, like tenderizer. But see, they make them fit. See how that? This is nothing but a sandstone, but it's been worked for a tool. Now the funny part about it is this. You see a TV, Indian battle on TV, you never see a stone tomahawk. You'll see this. Now this looks more wicked. But remember, the Indians didn't have iron. The white man got here.
So that was...
This is a lot older than this.
Mm-hmm. How old would that be, the stone one?
Stone. Probably Columbus times.
Is that right?
Now here's a salesman's sample of a coal stove. In other words, a guy on a horseback would ride around and show you what the stove looked like. Now there was a tool to take the burners out, and it had cast iron pots, not plastic.
Huh. So it wasn't really a toy, it was a demonstration.
This was a miniature coal stove.
Wow. Would they actually fire it up to show it, or?
No,
No.
that was just a sample, simple sample. But I'm going to show you how times have changed. When you got a coal stove like that, you also need matches. This is nothing but a matchbox. But look at the workmanship on it.
Oh my.
It's all cast iron.
Isn't that amazing? That would have been pressed?
Yeah,
or...
pressed, and you hung it up in there and above the stove and reached in to get a match.
Wow.
I don't know what else.
I noticed another machine back there with a handle in it.
Yeah, that's the same thing as the other
Same
one.
thing.
Boring machine. Oh. If you was building a house back then, of course you'd start with a tree. You couldn't go to Z&L or someplace like that, Home Depot, and buy your lumber. You start with a tree. Now if you want tongue and groove flooring, here's the tools you'd have to use. One made a tongue, one made a groove.
Oh. They were a template of sorts, or would you work it?
No, you actually worked.
Wow.
That's how you made it, from one end for the other. You had a 16-foot board, you'd make a groove for 16 foot and make a tongue 16 foot.
Wow.
All by hand. Now, I got a whole bunch of different molding planes. Made all your trim by hand.
And this was probably the turn of the century again, or
Yes.
before?
Back to pioneer days.
Wow.
So you want to make a banister, that's what you had to use.
Would most people have these tools on the farm to make construct their homes, or
Well, these are more like carpenter tools.
are they?
Yes.
I noticed a couple of interesting things on the wall back there, and I was trying to guess that one might have been a cedar of some sort. That thing
one?
in the wall, the sort of a V-shaped one to the left of the orange one.
That's a vegetable planter.
Oh.
It has two compartments. One, you put one plant in, the other side you put water.
Oh
when
my.
you jam it in the ground, then you pull the lever.
Uh-huh.
The jaw's open and gives it a shot of water, and
Uh-huh.
it puts the plant in.
Wow.
The one right next to it, that orange thing, is a corn jabber. That's how you planted corn.
Wow.
Basically the same way.
Uh-huh. What's that above it then? It looks like a missile.
That laying horizontal,
Yeah.
that is a hand vacuum sweeper.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I see the end. Let me see if I can zoom in on that end. You can see it looks as though it's a vacuum cleaner.
That part that has a handle there in the middle,
Uh-huh.
you pumped it up and down. That made the vacuum.
Oh my goodness. And that would be what, from when?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Oh.
You notice there's no cord on it.
Yeah, that's right. So people got their daily exercise from doing the ordinary things that...
They didn't have the spas back in that days.
That's right. What do you think about those days? Were they good compared to today?
They was healthier.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they didn't have so much disease. So, I mean, like my mother, she died at 96 and she lived on lard.
Uh-huh.
Today it's a no-no. But how many people lived at 96 today?
That's right.
So the only difference is they worked it off. Today we're too lazy. We don't work the fat off. Including me. Even the farmers have it easier with the modern machinery.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes progress is not the best.
Any other tool you can show us before we go?
Well, every farmer had a different butter mold.
Mm-hmm.
And when you made your butter, You fill that box up with butter, level full, that's supposed to be a pound. And usually, I had another one here, I don't know, oh, here it is.
Now that would be after you churned it, right?
Yeah, after you churned it and after you worked it. See, most farmers had a design, so no matter where you ate the butter, you knew where it come from.
Oh my. I can't see it really well. Yeah, bring it this way just a... Oh, I see, there's a...
Yeah.
Is that a flower? Tilt it down just a tiny bit.
Yeah, what do you say?
Just tilt it down so I can see that design. Yeah, so it's a leaf and a flower.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
That's a trademark for a certain farm.
And each farm...
Had a different one.
Oh my goodness.
They're talking about, from source to consumer today.
Yeah.
How about this?
Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Their own trademark. I absolutely never heard of that. Is that a cast iron cooking?
Bean pot.
Uh-huh.
It weighs about 10 pounds.
Oh my. So that was cast?
That's all cast iron.
Wow. More healthful for you than some of the non-stick pans of today.
That's for sure. Here's a true bean pot.
Of course, you would grow your own beans, right? That you put in the pot.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Why is that a bean pot and not a potato cooking
I don't
pot?
know. They always call it a bean pot. That's all I know.
And it was designed especially for beans then. I
Yeah.
mean, it would be.
There probably ate a lot of beans back in those days.
Yeah. Probably a major source of protein back then. Well, you were showing me earlier the Indian. I see all these arrowheads. May I take a shot of those?
Okay.
See if I can get a shot without the glass. It's hard to shoot into the glass.
I figured that.
But I see now. Are these from the era, like the one that you showed in the house?
The one showed in the house would be on this other side,
Okay.
the lower left hand.
Okay.
See that one right there at the bottom?
Yeah.
Now that's Pitt University's got that pegged at 9,000 BC.
Oh my. And these other ones are maybe from the same era?
Well, see, there's numbers on them
Mm-hmm.
and charts. Barbara tells you how old each one of them is.
I'll see if I can get into the... Yes, I can. I can get in there. So that says type 5, Thebes, I think
All
it
right,
says.
get the number off of it. Give me a number.
13, 15, 767.
What?
I think it says that it's right.
Not number 5.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
All right, number 5. Put the light up here a minute.
Okay.
Number 5. Come on. Oh, 5 to 11.
Uh-huh.
It's between 7 and 5,000 BC.
Isn't that amazing?
Look at the saw teeth on it, on the side. Can you imagine trying to pull that out of here?
Where is that one? Right there?
Right there. Number 5.
Oh my. Isn't that something? I don't know that I've ever seen it like that before. And that one, that is, how many years did you say that was?
Between 5 and 7 BC.
Isn't that amazing? So the Indians had it figured out pretty well for themselves back then, and then the white man came and
Well,
changed it all.
they did do with what they had.
Uh-huh. A wonderful trailer. Are you going to stay on the road, do you think? Do you think you'll be going to high schools again in the spring?
Well, I can go any place they call me.
Well, we'll make sure that we call you. How's that? Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. I think you've got enough. You don't need to come back. Don't you think?